Welcome to Bible Tea, where we spill the truth straight from Scripture. Today's tea is found in Jonah chapter 1. And boy, oh boy, is there some tea to tell in this story. Okay, so boom. God pulls up on this prophet, right? His name is Jonah. And he gives him like a direct assignment, right? God's like, look, listen, I need you to go to Nineveh. The people over there are doing too much. Their wickedness is off the charts. And I need you to go call them out, right? Now, Nineveh was a major city, but it was also full of people who were known for being absolutely ruthless. So Jonah hears this assignment and he immediately says, absolutely not. So instead of going east to Nineveh, this man heads west to Joppa. He finds a boat that's going to Tarshish, which is the exact opposite direction. And catch this part of the tea because this is where it gets real, right? Scripture specifically notes that Jonah bought a ticket. Now you might think that's so small, guys, but pay attention, right? He paid money for that fare. See, disobedience is never free, y'all. Disobedience will always cost you something. Jonah literally spent his own coins just to run away from his purpose. He funded his own detour. He really thought he could ghost God, buy his way out of the assignment, and flee the country. But see, you can't outrun the one who made the map. You can't. Jonah gets on this boat, right? Goes downstairs and he falls fast asleep, thinking he's slick. Meanwhile, God sends this massive Category 5 hurricane level storm after the ship. The sailors on the boat, who have been doing this for a long time, are absolutely terrified. They're throwing cargo overboard to lighten the ship. They're crying out to their gods, their own gods, just to survive this storm. So finally, the ship captain goes downstairs, finds Jonah snoring, and wakes him up like, yo, bro, how are you sleeping right now? Pray to your God. We're literally gonna die. At this point, the sailors, like I said, the sailors have been doing this for a long time. They've seen storms before. But this storm felt different. They realized this ain't just regular weather. This ain't just no normal storm, guys. Something spiritual is going on. So they draw straws to figure out who brought the curse. And wouldn't you know it, Jonah draws a short straw. They corner him and they're like, who are you? What did you do? Right? So Jonah, he finally confesses and he's like, yeah, my bad, guys. I serve the God of heaven who made the sea and dry land. And I'm currently running away from him. Oops. The sailors are losing their minds. They're like, why? Why would you do that? What do we need to do to make your God stop this storm? But here's the part people don't see. God sent the storm, yes, but not because he hated Jonah, but because he wasn't done with Jonah. The storm wasn't punishment, it was pursuit. Sometimes God will allow your plans to fall apart because he loves you too much to let you keep running. Jonah thought he was escaping his assignment, but God was chasing after Jonah with mercy. And Jonah, instead of repenting, like, God, I'm sorry. No, he gives the most dramatic answer ever. He's like, just pick me up, to the sailors, just pick me up and throw me into the ocean. The storm is my fault, right? The sailors, they try to row back to land because they don't want Jonah's blood on their hands. But the storm gets worse And finally, they're like, God, big G, God, please don't blame us. And they literally yeet Jonah into the raging sea. The second Jonah hits the water, total silence. The storm completely stops. The sailors are so stunned by how fast the weather changed that they immediately start worshiping God right there on the deck. And I mean big G God, right? But it's not over for Jonah. God didn't let him down. Scripture says that God already had reserved his way out. Like he had a reservation set up for him. And it was a giant fish. So a giant fish pulls up, swallows Jonah whole, and he's stuck in the belly of this fish for 3 days and 3 nights to think about his life choices. Right? Serves him right. But here's a little piece of tea before we wrap up. Jonah wasn't running because he was scared of Nineveh. He wasn't running because he was scared of Nineveh. He was running because he knew God was merciful. My boy knew that if Nineveh actually repented, God might forgive them. But that's tea for another day. So stay tuned, because when we get into the next 3 chapters of Jonah, baby, the tea gets even hotter. So the moral of the story in this tea is stop spending your own time, your own energy, and your peace to fund a detour away from where God told you to go. Because you can either do what he said the first time, or you can do it after spending 3 days inside of a slimy fish. The choice is yours. If this blessed you, go ahead and hit the follow button and smash the like button. Let me know in the comments if you want chapter 2. And that's the Bible tea today. Sip wisely, guys.